Hey, what's up, guys?
Was I supposed to say?
Wow, that was supernatural, Tiff.
What's
Great
up,
job.
guys?
Great job.
Well, usually you're like, what's up, guys? Blah, blah, blah. Ryan here. So I was just letting you do your thing before I jumped in and stole the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. We just got back Sunday, right? Or Saturday night from vacation?
We came back Saturday because we needed a whole day to
We needed a day to relax from our vacation. Like, do you ever need to take a vacation from your vacation?
Except I'm pretty sure we both we were chomping at the bit.
I worked all day for like 12 hours.
Yeah, you
Sunday.
were writing your book, your 21 book.
New version of the book. So
yeah, and then I did all the cleaning, cooking, stuff like that. So
woman stuff.
Really, such a jerk.
Yeah, it's truth though, isn't it? That's why you have small feet. Hey, what's up, Sandy?
So why do I have small feet?
So you can get closer to the oven. Just one of the many ways that we are innovating here at Tampa Carey and Carey University.
Yes, now it's time for some laughter.
Okay, what is up? Sandy, Full Metal Car, something, all these numbers. Mr. Tick, he's like, what guns? I don't have any guns. My guns fell in the toilet.
Mine fell in the toilet.
Yeah, I feel you, bro. We may all be...
we may all have some type of excuse pretty soon.
Yeah. Who is this? John says Kamala's going to push Joe down the stairs.
You know what, John? I actually think you're right there.
Yeah. He's somebody that's not going to be able to take a tumble.
Yeah,
is he the oldest person? If he becomes president, is he going to be the oldest person to ever be president?
Yes. And yeah. And I don't think he'll be in there long.
I think everybody agrees with that. What's up, Jay? Eugene. Angel, what's up, man? Awesome. Everybody's on here.
Hey,
I think I saw Scuba.
While you're on, before we get going, because I know sometimes when you share this, you got to on maybe YouTube, you got to grab the link and then share it. Go ahead and share this because we want to get as much. We're going to cover some really great stuff tonight, and we feel that it's very, very important for people to know this stuff. So go ahead and share this because I feel like this type of stuff is not shown. This is not talked about as much as it should be. Yeah,
we just watched, if you know who Dinesh D'Souza is.
Oh, I love
Dinesh D'Souza.
Him. I got a crush on him. I do.
Yeah, he's a very intelligent guy. He immigrated to the United States from India, and his wife is from Venezuela. He is the documentary guy. He made a documentary about how President Obama was abusing his power and doing a bunch of crazy stuff, and then he actually got put into prison on a trumped up, totally fraudulent campaign finance charge.
It's pretty crazy.
So anyway, we watched his new documentary called Trump Card over this last week.
Yeah,
and man,
it's on Amazon Prime, so it's a couple dollars, like $3.99 to rent or whatever. So it's called Trump Card. But man, eye opener, and it is stressful to really see just the shady, manipulative things. Not just that Biden or the Obama administration are doing. No, it's a much larger picture, right? Biden
it's a
is
global
just a puppet.
thing.
Yeah.
It's a global thing.
And he also made that other documentary. What was the first one? Like America the Great or
America there was one called Hillary's America, and that was right before the 2016 election. Yeah, but the one before that.
Anyway, he's got I think 4 documentaries, and let me tell you, this guy is superb. He is spot on. So if you haven't watched those, I really suggest that everybody go on Amazon Prime and watch all of those. You guys will really like them. So they're super awesome.
Oh, look at that. We already got 100 messages.
Wow.
Let's keep it up. My goal is to get 1,000 comments. So any comment that you guys have, just post that sucker.
And let us know that you're on here because Ryan and I do go back and we look at every single comment in the live chat.
I watch this entire live stream afterwards.
He watches. He just wants to see how good looking I am. Is that why?
I want to see what mistakes we made so we can get better.
He does. And then he comes to me and he's like, hey, Tiff, stop moving.
Stop hitting the counter because people can hear it.
Counter. But I get so excited. I can't help it.
Whatever. Just do whatever.
And then he's like talking to the mic, but I'm really theatrical. So I'm like, all over the place.
Yeah,
so
it's okay.
This is hard for me.
It can only be so good. All right. So we all know that Biden might really be the president come January 20th or 21st of next year. I mean, it really could happen.
Since the last time we talked, we've had a few certified elections.
States certify the elections,
states
right?
certify, excuse me, that we didn't have last week. So I think Arizona just came in.
Yeah.
And so
it's not looking good.
It's not looking good.
But the hot, like, trending topic right now is the fact that Joe Biden wants to place a mandatory tax on firearms and ammunition. So I thought, what better of a topic to really break down? And I truly believe this is brilliant. I'm going to say it. Yes. But this is a brilliant, brilliant strategy by the Biden administration.
Slick move.
Because people aren't even going to understand
what's
happening.
People don't know it. People don't understand it. And I'm so excited. Yeah, and I'm so excited that you're going to cover this tonight because I bet you right now 99.9% of our viewers
don't understand what we're about to talk about.
Have no idea how slick this gun control thing.
Manipulative.
That he's proposing is coming. It's unbelievable.
So the Joe Biden website says in order to reduce the number of people killed by mass shootings, Joe Biden is going to ban the manufacture and sale of assault weapons and high-capacity magazines.
So we've already got some people commenting, $200 for magazines that hold over 10 rounds. That's just a small piece of the pie because that's what people are talking about.
That's the easy part.
Yeah, that's the easy part.
It's what does that mean? What does that mean in the long term as a gun owner?
Because it means so much more than just a $200 tax. And Ryan's going to cover that in just a few minutes here.
Okay, so he also says that he's going to buy back assault weapons that are already in the community.
Yeah. And there's always going to be people that do that are just like, sure.
I was at the gun store today, and they kind of asked me, they said, hey, have you heard about Biden's $200 thing? And I think, of course I have. Like, my name is Ryan Thomas. You not know who I am. So I said, of course I've heard about it. But where the hell was I going with that? This is why I got to stop smoking weed.
About how you went to Universal and they were asking about the $200 or the buyback. No, the $200 stamp. I don't know.
Yeah, so whatever. It doesn't matter. So he's going to reduce stockpiling of weapons. Now, how is he going to reduce these assault weapons? He's going to regulate these assault weapons, which he calls...
So, wait a minute. Because people are like, stop calling it assault weapons. Why are you calling it assault weapons? We are using that word because that's what the Biden administration labels all AR-15s and anything that holds over a 10-round magazine. So we're talking like a Ruger 1022.
But if you remember, so Dianne Feinstein is the author of the original assault weapons ban back in 1994.
94, yeah.
And every single January, Tiffany, every January, she comes out with a new version of the assault weapons ban. Okay. And I believe it was 2 years ago, she introduced a brand new term called an assault pistol.
Wow, an assault pistol.
And, this is really fascinating because if we look at what is happening right now in Canada, Canada is having an assault weapons ban. They're buying back assault weapons.
Weapon? I mean, we're talking
they don't even have AK-47s.
No, this isn't even assault weapons. This is like your standard hunting magazine that holds, more than 5 rounds.
But your brother's handguns, he's got some Glocks. Yeah. That's what they're calling in Canada an assault weapon. And that's what they're attempting to buy back right now.
Right. So you overtook my point here.
Okay.
So when we say assault weapons, we know they're not assault weapons, but that's the terms that they're using. So that's what we're using. By assault weapon, we are meaning just your standard AR-15 that like all of us have, in our closet, or if we don't have it yet, we're waiting for prices to come down to get more. So
what are we potentially buying?
No, we're not buying it. Well, no, because what's the question that I asked you? I was like,
no, Tiffany this morning was like,
I'm very stressed about this.
Yeah.
I am very stressed about this.
She is. And honestly, Tiffany doesn't get worked up very easy.
I really don't. I'm kind of like,
she's like, oh, it'll be okay. God will figure it out. And,
just trust in God. He knows what he's doing. But now I'm thinking, this is crazy.
Like, this is bad. If we were ever...
I'm very stressed, and we'll go into detail why.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
Okay, so by paying this $200 tax on firearms, an AR-15, an AK-47, or a 30-round magazine, we are basically choosing to have these firearms labeled under the National Firearms Act. So would you believe that in the 1920s, you guys could buy a Tommy gun. If you remember a Tommy gun, fully automatic submachine gun chambered in 45.
Yeah.
You could buy a Tommy gun for $11 and have it mailed through a mail order catalog, and it would get delivered directly to your front door.
Okay, we had one of those at the gun store, and it's like 80 million pounds.
It's pretty heavy, and it's very hard to change.
Very heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how did they mail that for $11?
This was back then,
I
right?
guess $11 is a lot of money back then, huh?
Well, you got to think a $200 tax stamp, because back after the NFA Act was passed, a $200 tax stamp would be $3,800 today with inflation.
So they tried to make it huge.
That was the goal, right?
So that not many people could do it. But nowadays, $200, if you want to get a suppressor or something like that, you can.
Yeah, not that big of a deal.
Know,
okay, so in 1929, seven members and associates of the Chicago's North Side gang were murdered on Valentine's Day, and this came to be known as the Valentine's Day Massacre.
Yep.
And the man believed to be behind this massacre was Al Capone. So this extreme act of violence, obviously people freaked out. They were very upset. Al Capone, he had an extremely low IQ, but he was worth billions and billions of dollars.
But he was like a criminal, right?
A criminal, right. Yeah.
But he was a smart criminal. I'll give him that.
I think he saw an opportunity.
Yeah.
He saw an opportunity, right, with prohibition.
Oh, thank you so much.
Hey, thank you, Ren.
With
alcohol being illegal, but people don't stop doing something just because it's illegal. And I think there's going to be a lot, if guns really do become illegal like that, all you do is create a really massive black market.
Black market and chance for
an enterprising scumbag to take advantage of something.
Like, I was reading that while you were talking, so I might have missed it. But that's like what happened with Prohibition, right? I mean,
exactly.
Yeah. Did
Make
you mention
alcohol?
that?
Yeah.
You did? Okay, I'm so sorry.
Try to keep up. Okay.
I was reading the donation we got.
So shortly after the Valentine's Day Massacre, that's when they introduced the National Firearms Act. And the goal of the NFA Act was to regulate unusual, this is extremely important, you understand this term, to regulate unusual and dangerous, uncommon firearms. So, what firearms are currently being regulated under the NFA Act? These include machine guns, short barrel rifles, silencers or suppressors, if we got any trolls on here.
So this is not AR-15s, this is actual machine guns, full auto.
Yeah, full auto.
That's what that is, yes, full auto guns.
Okay, so short barrel shotguns, suppressors, and destructive devices.
Like
so those are bombs, grenade launchers, stuff like that. Dude, I wish.
I'm just letting people know because some people, are new on here and they don't know that AR-15s are not full auto. That is just a semi-automatic firearm.
Semi-fully automatic. You don't know that? Semi-fully?
Okay, well, it's still... okay, I'm like...
that's what that...
It's a semi, so it means you have to pull the trigger each...
One time for one bullet to come out.
For one bullet, yes.
And the way a machine gun works is you pull the trigger once and more than one projectile comes out. Freedom. Okay, so last January, I own like 12 suppressors.
Scratch.
Right now. What doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah,
the
I guess
government already knows about it, right?
Yes.
I own, hey, thanks, Linda.
Thank you so much,
we appreciate you.
We appreciate that.
So I own a bunch of suppressors. I have a couple short barrel rifles, and I actually have a short barrel 308 AR-10 that I have never built. It's actually a
These are
strict lower.
falsehoods. Nobody's coming for anyone's guns. Okay.
Who is this? Lawrence Blackwell? Lawrence Blackwell?
Says all the people before their guns get taken. They said that in Canada, too.
Yeah, they said that in Canada.
The first time, like 26 years ago, when the gun registration first started, everyone's like, oh, stop talking about they just want to register our guns.
They're just trying to help you. They're trying to keep you safe.
Guess what they've done in the past 20 years?
Hey, Lawrence, if you stick around, I've got a video that we're going to play here in a few minutes of a woman who survived Nazi Austria.
And she's going to explain
and she's going to explain
how it went down.
Exactly what they said to her, exactly what they did to convince everybody to turn over their guns.
And you know what? Sounds familiar.
It's happened everywhere. It's happened in every country, by every dictatorship.
Okay, so what's the big deal about
Biden's strategy here?
The NFA item.
So
it's not just about a $200 tax stamp.
Because anybody can pay that. If you can afford to buy a $2,000 rifle,
it would suck, but it's a one-time fee.
Sure.
I would do it.
So here's the thing. If you register your guns as an NFA item, that means you are agreeing that those firearms are not protected under the U.S. Second Amendment.
Say what? Say that again.
All firearms under the National Firearms Act are not considered by the U.S. Supreme Court to be protected under the Second Amendment. So this is a decision that was actually decided way back in 1939. It was the United States versus Miller. So Jack Miller and Frank Layton, they were transporting a double-barrel shotgun across state lines, I believe across the state of Arkansas.
Thank you so much, SF Native Son.
Yes,
we appreciate
thank you.
that.
We appreciate
thank you
you.
so much. Oh, thank you
thanks,
so
Byron.
much, Byron.
So he was these two individuals were transporting a double-barrel shotgun that had a barrel length of less than 18 inches and an overall length shorter than 26 inches. So that is illegal. That means it is a short-barrel shotgun. They were arrested, and the Supreme Court ruled, so here's the statement from the U.S. Supreme Court. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled that a short-barrel shotgun was not protected under the Second Amendment because it did not have a reasonable relationship to the preservation or efficiency of a well-regulated militia, and therefore was not protected under the Second Amendment.
Okay, so what you're saying here now is anything that's registered as an NFA item, it's not protected under the Second Amendment. So if they'd say you got 2 years, that's what they did in Canada, you've got 2 years to either...
No, slow down. So after the shooting that happened, where did that happen at? Nova Scotia?
Yes.
Okay, so in Nova Scotia, a guy had an AR-15.
That was already probably like last year.
He stole it from a police officer. He stole a police car.
Yeah, he stole a police car.
And then he would pull up to people, do a traffic stop, and then get out and just open fire and kill them. Right. So this was like Canada's version of it.
So he had an illegal firearm.
Okay, but now they're doing an assault weapons ban. Yes. Tiffany's brother owns a lot of guns. Maybe. And maybe not anymore. But they contacted everybody that has guns because all guns are registered there. And they said, you have 2 years from today.
Yes, you can turn it in 2 years and we'll buy it back from you for whatever amount. Or after the 2 years is up, then they will no longer buy it back and they will confiscate it and you will have nothing.
And if you get caught, you become a felon.
And it's like, I don't know, $10,000 fine, some ridiculous fine. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So, they've got 2 years to do that. So what I was saying is if they decide to do something like that here, okay, now everybody's got to register the item as an NFA item. Okay. Now
government knows that you have it.
Everybody knows that you have it. And if you don't register it in that 2 years, now you risk a neighbor or somebody turning you in and becoming a felon overnight.
Tiffany, hold on. That would never happen. Why would your neighbors...
People are telling on people who are having more than 6 people in their house for coronavirus. They're calling it in right away.
Which is fascinating because I'm not going to play the entire video.
Oh,
thanks, Dustin. I appreciate you, bud.
We appreciate you.
So the entire video of this Jewish woman who survived the Holocaust in Austria, I'm going to actually post it on the YouTube channel Thursday, the entire video. It's 40 minutes long.
But it's great.
It's amazing.
Everybody needs to watch it.
Everybody needs to watch it because what's fascinating is she says one of the things that they did in that socialist kind of environment was to create a network of spies.
Right.
And she said what they would do is they would find somebody that committed some really small infraction and they'd say, hey, listen, this normally is punishable by 5 years in prison.
Right.
We're not going to put you in prison.
Just tell us.
But every week, we want you to look and watch your neighbors, and we want you to give us a report on what they're doing.
Sure.
And isn't that what's happening now with COVID?
I don't even think that the government would have to bribe it, people. People would gladly turn you in if they knew that you had an AR-15. Like, that's what it's become.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's just tell people, because I don't think we've really explained what that means. It's not protected under the Second Amendment, which means now you've got everything registered, okay? And if you don't, then you risk becoming a felon overnight and having a huge fine and maybe going to jail. Who knows what they're going to put, how steep they're going to put it. But then if they decide, you know what? Maybe after some shooting or something like that, hey, we don't want AR-15s anywhere. We don't even want people who have them registered and paid their tax stamp. We don't even want them to do it. What can they do?
They can simply, because again, they're not protected under the Second Amendment, they can simply take all of those guns. Hey, thanks, Lawrence. We appreciate you, buddy.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Lauren. They can take them. They can, and isn't there a thing if you have a tax stamp that they can request that at any time?
Yeah, they're allowed. Now, I've never heard of this happening, but allegedly ATF will show up at people's doors and they will say, hey, listen, you've got this belt-fed machine gun.
Yep.
You've got an M60. We want to see it.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that you still have it and that you didn't
sell it.
You didn't sell it to like some criminal or whatever.
Not transfer it properly. So they're going to see your gun. They want to see your gun and your tax stamp. That's scary.
That's scary.
That they can just come to your house and they know, and it's not protected under the Second Amendment. So there's no, hey, you can't do this. This isn't lawful. This isn't legal. But guess what?
Here's what a lot of people are probably thinking on here. They're probably thinking, Tiffany, the federal courts, hey, thanks, Sandy. The federal courts are going to be the ones to actually protect us. The federal courts are never going to allow a gun grab like this. And I hear from people all the time, the police are never going to go door to door and take guns. The military will never go door to door and do it. I'm going to play a video here at the end of the military in the United States actually going door to door. Hey, thanks, Tommy. We appreciate you, buddy. Going door to door and confiscating guns and hurting Americans. God.
Yeah.
Well, that'll come later.
I've always thought that 3 day or the 80% lowers were like, but now I'm really.
I'll buy 150 of them.
I know
tonight.
you will, Ryan. No, but I'm thinking like.
So what is Biden going to do? How is he going to prevent the courts from kind of ruling on this? He's going to pack the Supreme Court. I find it really funny, how the media is super biased. They're scumbags. But nobody ever pushed Biden to get an answer of whether, and he said, the American people don't deserve to know. He actually said that. American people don't deserve to know his opinion on court packing. But just imagine if we have 9 Supreme Court justices right now, if we had 13, if we had 21, whatever the number is, then it would be very easy for them to get some of these things in and totally railroad us. And it's going to be the biggest gun grab in history.
So this is what I want everybody to do, though, because I'm seeing some comments, Ryan and Tiffany need to make money, but I don't know. This is the thing. Go on Joe Biden's website.
And just look at it.
Google
it's freaking shocking.
Look at the gun page. It is this long, and you can still scroll. It is huge. Go read all the stuff. And he said in the NFA one that he will take executive action, didn't he? Isn't that what he said?
Say it again.
In the NFA thing, he said he'll take executive action on the assault weapon thing.
He said he was going to do an executive action to ban the importation of assault weapons. If you remember, President Obama did this. And it's so funny, right? Because this term assault weapon is such a loose thing.
But I actually remember reading Obama's thing, and it wasn't even half as long.
But if you remember, Obama called the M1 Garand that was used in the World War II, Korea War, Vietnam, he called that an assault weapon and stopped allowing them to be imported. He even stopped allowing some of the military relics. What the hell is that company called?
Can you do it so I can see the new messages?
From... it doesn't matter. Some of the 1911s from World War II, he stopped allowing those to be imported.
Right.
Those are not being used in crimes, man, because it's not about stopping crime. It's not about stopping violence.
Right, because the
It's about power.
AR-15s haven't been. And the reason that I'm saying this is because I don't normally freak out or whatever. I don't normally get panicked over stuff like this. I'm just do-do-do. And I keep seeing people comment saying, on the other YouTube videos, when I'll read some of the comments, people are saying, oh, it's not going to happen. Oh, stop it. You're just fear-mongering. You're, getting everybody worried that they're... Guys, it's slowly happening. It's not going to happen overnight, but it's been shaving away.
Hey, thanks, Luke. We appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you so much, Luke. And this Biden page has the most gun control proposals than any other Democratic president, I think, ever.
Yeah, it's pretty aggressive.
It's insane. It is very aggressive.
Okay, so Biden says, go.
And I'm not scared of Biden. I am scared of Kamala.
I'm scared of Kamala, but I don't think anybody's intimidated by a Biden because he's...
I don't. I think that you blow that way and he'll go that way. You tell him, hey, we'll do this. And I think he's very wishy-washy.
Yeah.
But Kamala I feel like she's going to be a pit bull with a freaking... whatever you call it. What do you call it? Like a thing?
Yeah.
I feel like she's really going to go after.
Yep, she's an evil person, in my opinion. Yeah, and I'm happy to say that.
That's just my opinion.
Okay, so here's some of the numbers for you. So Biden says that he's doing this to reduce the number of people being killed by these types of weapons. And by these types of weapons, he means AR-15s, AK-47s. So according to the FBI, the Uniform Crime Report, which is a report that's published every single year, that talks about the number of people that were murdered, the types of races, which race killed which race, what weapons were used, and things like that.
Yep.
So in 2019, there were 13,927 people murdered in the United States.
Okay.
So 13,927. That's a lot.
Yeah.
It's not that much.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
not that much. The people killed with a rifle were 364 people were killed with a rifle.
And some of those are probably accidental.
Well, we don't even know what
accidental deaths.
No, this is murder.
Okay, it is murder.
This is murder.
Okay.
So that means 2.6% of people that were murdered were actually killed with a rifle.
Right.
2.6%.
So why are we going after rifles? I mean,
5% of people that were murdered were killed with a handgun.
right. So they should be going after handguns, technically.
But that's,
if you were really concerned about stopping,
But that also goes to show when I play this video of this Jewish woman that survived World War II.
When are you going to play it?
Okay, let's just talk about it right now.
Yeah,
because
everybody wants to see this.
It's really
right?
amazing. So this is the woman here. So again, she grew up as a child, survived World War II.
Yeah.
And here's a video. It's about a minute or so long.
Okay.
We also had gun control. The government said that children were playing with guns, and we had hunting accidents, people accidentally shooting each other, and we had criminals again, murderers. The only way that they could track the murderer was by the serial number of the gun. So bring your gun to the police station, then we can register the serial number and we can track the criminal. And we thought that was a good idea. Mm-hmm. So gladly we did that. Not long afterwards, they said no, it did not help. We could not track all the criminals. The best way to have no more crimes and no more people getting hurt, bring your guns to the police station, and they already know who had guns because we registered our guns. Keep your guns and buy more guns and stack up on your ammo. A gun is no good if you don't have any ammo. Dictatorship did not happen overnight. It took 5 years, from 1938 until 1943, we had a full-blown dictatorship. Had we kept our guns, we would have fought a bloody battle to the last man and women to keep our freedom. But we had no guns. A classic example is, in Switzerland, it is law that everybody has to have a gun. And
okay, so it's really, really interesting what that lady had to say. And again, that's just a 2-minute clip of a 40-minute video that I will post with some commentary.
And everybody needs to watch it. And you know what? I really strongly urge you, if you have children, no matter how old they are, our kids are, 6, 9, and 11, and they love watching stuff like that because they're the next generation that's going to fight for our gun rights, right?
Yeah, what's interesting is she talks about how Hitler took over the media, controlled what people were allowed to hear,
controlled what was taught in schools,
took away freedom of religion, took away freedom of speech. Does that sound familiar to what's happening right now?
Right.
It's fascinating. I don't know if you guys heard, but Governor Cuomo, who's the governor of New York, he was recently ruled against, hey, thanks, Dan, about by the U.S. Supreme Court about violating religious organizations' right to freedom of religion. And he said it's irrelevant.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure you took an oath to support and defend the Constitution, and you're saying it's irrelevant? Scumbag. That's why I call these people evil.
Yeah. So she talked about Switzerland.
Yeah.
And what did I say this morning? Before I even seen this, I said, Ryan, I'm really worried. And he said, why? And I said, because if they take away our AR-15s, I said, what is going to stop China, Russia.
Well, that's a good point.
All these countries that have been, North Korea, that have been waiting, that we're the superpower. Everybody wants to be in America's shoes. And I said, what's going to happen? Because was it the Korean guy or who was it?
It was
that
the Japanese general.
It was the Japanese general that they said, why didn't you go to America and attack? And he said,
No. Why, after Pearl Harbor, why did you not do a ground invasion?
Okay. And he said, because there is a rifle behind every blade of grass. And that is the same reason why Hitler did not try to attack Switzerland, because he knew there was a rifle behind every blade of grass.
So here's the way it works in Switzerland. So every single male is in the military their entire life. Mm-hmm. So you serve a certain period in active duty. So it's probably like 2 to 6 years.
Yeah.
Which I think should be the law in America. I think we'd have
I think it would be great.
less pussification if that happened.
Yeah, I think that there would be a lot more patriotism as well.
Yeah. So you have to go into the military, and then for the rest of your life, you're kind of like in inactive status. So I did 6 years active duty, and then I had to do 2 years of inactive status.
Right.
So if something bad happened, they need me to come back, I, by law, have to go back and serve
But
again.
you would go back. And in a second.
I threw away all my uniforms, so if that
You know,
happened,
what I'm saying is, though, you would go back in a split second because that's in your blood.
Yeah.
Like,
but
you love your
pissed.
family, but if you had to fight for your country, I know you'd be out the door before I could even give you a kiss.
I just need to grab my bottle of pain pills.
This is true.
Yeah. So in Switzerland, after you go into that inactive status, they give you a machine gun. They give you crates of ammunition.
Yep.
And they say it is your responsibility, along with your neighbors, to defend your area, your community, from all enemies, foreign and domestic.
So some guy said, this guy posted videos last month rooting for Biden. What a hypocrite. Have you ever?
Bro, you obviously have never freaking watched anything that I do.
I think you're talking about the wrong person, because Ryan certainly has never rooted for Biden.
I am not a Democrat.
Oh my gosh.
I am not a Democrat supporter. So if you're a Democrat, that's great.
Yeah, but
I'm not that.
We have plenty of Democratic friends, and we love them.
And I do love
really
them.
do.
But
and
here's the
because we respect freedom of speech.
I respect
and freedom of. No, but we do.
I do.
I mean, that's why what makes America so great. We don't want to change that.
Yeah. And it just boils down to, if you want to be Muslim, that's awesome. I'm happy for you, man.
Yeah,
I don't want to
whatever
hurt
it
you.
is.
I don't want to screw with your church, your mosque.
Right.
You're allowed to believe what you want to believe in America. Right. That's what makes America great.
That's what you fought for. Yep.
What they are doing now, and this is what socialism wants, is we believe in freedom of speech unless you disagree with us.
Yeah, because if you disagree with us,
then we will destroy you.
Then all hell is going to break loose.
Shut your business down. We will violently attack you, and they feel 100% justified because they think they're doing it to protect people.
Right.
Evil.
And have no idea at all that it is the exact opposite of free speech.
So the bottom line is, this is not about emotion. This is a much bigger issue. This is a global push, in my opinion, towards socialism. Because socialism means less for us, the people, more for the elites and the wealthy. And the only way to really get that level of power is to disarm us and really take it all away.
So, but it's just crazy, because I don't think that people here that, want everybody, all the sheep that want all the AR-15s and everything taken away, all those sheep don't realize that when the wolf comes knocking at your door and stuff like that, who's going to be there to protect you? Who's going to be there to fight for this
it's
great
really funny.
country like we have had to do in the past? And history repeats itself, my friends.
Yeah, it really does.
And as soon as America shows weakness like that, it is not going to be long before, everyone's our ally.
They're our ally right now because Trump will bomb the shit out of anyone.
But just wait till you show weakness and wait till you start limping, because as soon as they smell blood, I'll tell you what, those submarines and stuff, you're going to start ping, ping, ping.
You remember when that was happening under the Obama administration?
I know exactly what they were doing.
Russia would fly their fighter jets and stuff into U.S. airspace in Alaska.
I know, because it's in the Bible. This is the thing. What are they going to do when that happens? And I asked Ryan today, I was like, hey, what was that show you were watching last year or whatever that talked about what would have happened if America had lost World War II?
Yeah.
The Man in the High Castle? I'm going to watch that, because although it's probably going to infuriate me more, because it almost seems more real now.
Yeah.
What's that?
Okay, this is our lightning round.
Oh, Lightning round.
We're going to be answering your questions. So if you guys have any questions, concerns about Florida concealed carry law, guns, or just topic that we're talking about tonight,
doesn't matter.
Let me know.
Whatever. You can ask whatever you want, and we'll answer it. So I did see somebody else say something asking about binary triggers.
Yes, I did see that.
They're legal in Florida. And I did have somebody ask me that.
Yeah, so here's the deal. Florida did an assault weapons ban. Florida did a bump stock ban, but the way they wrote the legislation, it actually says any device that will increase the speed at which a shooter can pull the trigger beyond what the manufacturer has suggested. So that would include, in my opinion, the TACCON trigger, a binary trigger, of course the bump stock, the rotating Gatling gun trigger, any of those. Now, the challenge is it really hasn't gone to court yet. So it's really going to be up to, are you the person that's going to find out if this is legal or not?
Pretty much.
Are you the person that's going to get arrested, then have to go to court, spend $100,000, and then have a judge tell you you're going to prison for 10 years?
Yeah, and I read that again today. And the way it was written, I believe that it would include a binary trigger. It alters the speed, the rate of.
The politicians have learned when they wrote the 1994 assault weapons ban, they left a lot of loopholes in it.
So a smart, and the gun manufacturer's like, oh, so if you just put this here, then it, skirts the law. So now they're being very vague, so that way it leaves it up to an actual judge to interpret it. Exactly.
Which makes it very difficult.
So you do have to be careful. Yes, absolutely.
I do agree with you. Somebody said, Ren, Florida and Texas, I'm super impressed with Governor Ron DeSantis. I am very happy.
Me too.
We have an amazing governor in our state.
I'm thankful for him too, because this could be a lot worse.
My gosh, we could be dealing with the Governor Newsom scumbag, Cuomo, who's an evil person just out to steal money. Yeah. Thank God we got somebody who's actually protecting small business in the state of Florida, protecting us from the criminals. He's demonizing the criminals, and he's protecting law enforcement and law-abiding citizens. And I think that's amazing.
Yeah, no, I agree, 100%.
People stop buying China products. I agree with you, Black Rose.
Yeah, Jason Walker. We'll answer that privately.
Okay. Amazing governor. Merry Christmas to you, too.
Somebody said the Canadian is on fire.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Okay, so Standout Production says, why are they trying to disarm us? Here's why. Because the best way to control a group of people is to actually, where's my book at? The best way to control a group of people is not by telling them you're not allowed to defend yourself. It's by taking away their ability to defend themselves. I'm actually going to read you a quote. Tiffany's going to talk. I got to find it in my book real quick about what the U.S. Supreme Court says about this issue and what the founding fathers say about it.
And, the founding fathers said was to stop from a tyrannical government, right? And the thing is that just like Hitler, and you'll see in Ryan's video that he posts Thursday with this this elderly lady from, where is it again?
From Austria.
From Austria, was that Hitler came in, he was smooth, nobody thought, he won the vote by, I think, 92%, she said.
Crazy.
92% of people voted for him. He was that charismatic, and people just went along with it. He was really great. So that's the thing. Having guns helps the people fight against the tyrannical government. If the people don't have guns, eventually the government can do whatever they want, and it can turn into a complete communist state overnight, literally. And
look at Venezuela. So Venezuela,
exactly.
We had a student the other day, shitty situation.
Yeah.
His family grew up in Cuba.
Yep.
He said when Fidel Castro got into power, they started taking the guns, and his dad was able to get the entire family to flee to Venezuela.
Yeah.
Bad choice.
Whoops.
Then he said,
because it was great there.
It was great.
It was rich and
Hugo Chavez gets in. They start this socialism kick. They take the guns, and he was able to get his family and escape to America.
Yeah.
And he said in Venezuela, they take all the guns because they need to take them to protect us, right?
Yeah.
That's also what they're saying about COVID. You're not allowed to go to church because we're trying to protect you. Mm-hmm. You're not allowed to have freedom of speech because we're trying to protect you. Did you guys see that some idiot scientist got on TV and said wearing a face mask is a sign of freedom? What? Are you insane? That's not a sign of freedom. Now, you can believe whatever you want about a face mask.
And if you wear a face mask,
but it's not a sign of freedom, okay?
Oh, did somebody give? I don't want to miss it.
Brian, thanks,
Thank
bud.
you so much, Brian. I appreciate that.
Okay, so here's what the U.S. Supreme Court said in the Heller versus D.C. decision.
Okay, go.
That history showed the way tyrants had eliminated a militia consisting of all able-bodied men was not by banning the militia, but only by taking away the people's arms, enabling a select militia or standing army to suppress political opponents. So now think about this for a second. Who is the select militia? Actually, don't answer this. The select militia is the people that are acting like idiots in our society today. These are Antifa and other organizations that are rioting, killing people, burning buildings to the ground for nothing. So what taking away our guns does is it allows their select militia, these evil people that think it's okay to just run around, murder you, burn your building down, destroy your livelihood, all because they are children that did not get spanked.
I'm reading the comments. I'm waiting for you to stop.
Okay.
Spewing. No. So they're saying Trump. So there was somebody that said, well, Trump, passed the bump stocks and the red flag laws. Why, why?
Well, Trump didn't pass red flag laws, so that didn't come from Trump.
The bump stock did. So go ahead. Well, that was years ago, and Ryan talked about it. Years ago.
And it's in my book too.
And it's in the book, but that's
so the
not
bump
what
stock ban is
lately.
very stupid. And the bump stock ban was an arbitrary rule change. They went backwards and just changed the definition of what a machine gun is, which is extremely stupid. So, I think it was a douchebag thing for Trump to do.
And I think he realized it and he laid off and didn't really do anything more because he got a lot of flack from that, from the gun community.
Yeah.
But other than that, he didn't do anything else.
Yeah.
So somebody else said that Australia's crime is skyrocketing. Yes, because it's a fact of one mind, many weapons. So it's just like countries that stop having guns, then there's an astronomical amount of knife attacks. Look at some place in Europe was going to ban knives.
No, it's England. It's England, yeah. So my brother lives in England right now.
At what point do we stop? You ban knives, you ban hammers, come on.
Well, do you know, according to the FBI, last year, 1,400 people were murdered with a knife in America. But only a little over 300 were actually killed with a rifle. Yeah. So that's the path we're going down.
Exactly. So, in other words, if there's an evil person that wants to murder someone and hurt someone, they're going to find another weapon. They're going to rent a U-Haul truck like that one asshole did, and they're going to drive through a crowd. They're going to make a bomb like Timothy McVeigh, and they're going to blow up a freaking daycare. It is one mind, many weapons. If you are a psycho and you want to hurt and kill people, you are going to find a way to do it, and there is nothing that we can do to stop it. Maybe we can have better healthcare or mental health.
No, you want to know what we need to do?
Why don't we put all that effort and money and time into mental health instead?
Here's what's really fascinating. So this whole concept of mass shootings and active shootings and stuff started in the 1960s. What else started in the 1960s? That's when they made pornography legal.
Oh, yes.
1960s. That's when they closed mental health facilities.
Yes.
So you can no longer have these dangerous people inside of a facility. Now they just get released into the public.
They always just get released. And a lot of these people actually turn them in. They turn themselves in. They know that they're
if you remember,
psychotic thoughts.
The Sandy Hook shooting, the mother tried to put her son in a mental health facility and they would not take him because of some law that happened.
Yeah.
That's your fault.
Right. And the Parkland shooter had a whole bunch.
32 times the police came to his house. The school purposely, days before he had slit his wrist, tried to commit suicide, but they actually labeled him as a, what is it called? A mental,
challenge.
Learning disability?
Learning disability, because if you label them as a learning disability, then what would happen again?
You're not allowed to kick him out of the school.
Then you're not allowed to kick him out of school. But he showed all these signs.
Okay, so Jay Chambers says, talk to me about Australia. It's crazy. So Australia did their gun ban, I believe in like 97, late 90s or whatever.
It was right when they did the ban here.
Yeah, so I believe they only had like 6 million firearms in the entire country.
How many do we have here?
We have over almost 400 million firearms in America.
400 million.
Yeah.
That just makes me be like,
Good luck.
let me see. That button. Yes.
Yeah. So that's, and in Australia, only about 10% of people actually turned the guns in. So that means there's still so there's 3 million guns, and right now there's 2.7 million illegally in Australia.
So somebody said, but red flag laws are okay. No, they're not okay.
Yeah, they're not okay. They're not okay because the way that a red flag law works is that they are very easily abused, and you as an individual do not have your constitutional right to stand in front of your accusers and defend yourself.
Yes.
So there's something called an ex parte risk protection order, which means they go to a judge and they say, hey, we believe this person is dangerous.
Yeah.
Then the judge says, all right, go kick in Tiffany's door, take all of her guns, and then in 2 weeks, we'll have a hearing to determine if we did the right thing or if we didn't.
Right.
That's not the way stuff works. That's kind of like
you're guilty until proven innocent.
Until you can prove your innocence.
Right.
That's not the way it works,
and
buddy.
who knows what crazy stuff they pull from, your social media.
Not even that. Like, if you remember up north, there was a niece that got upset with her uncle. She calls 911 and says, my uncle has guns. He's going to kill me, whatever. The police then go to his house. I believe it was like 5 a.m. They bang on the door. This guy opens the door with the gun in his hand, and the police shoot and kill him. All because the niece wanted to be a little bitch and try to hurt her uncle over nothing.
Yeah,
that's how red flag laws get abused and manipulated.
Red flag laws are not okay. We're not okay with them, and we need to fight all of these things. We are just explaining what is in the roster for this, upcoming election. So, because that's what people want to know about, is what new stuff is coming, not about the red flag laws that were, passed.
Okay. So interesting. We're getting on a lot of tangents here.
Yeah. Well, because we got people being like, and I get it. If you may have voted for Biden.
And that's okay. You have a right to.
That's okay. You have a right to. We don't hate you.
And let's also be very
sharing what the Biden-Kamala administration have planned for gun owners, because you're probably on this live stream because you're a gun owner. So this stuff matters to you, even if you're a Biden supporter.
Sure.
So we're not here to bash Biden. We are simply here.
We are here to bash Biden. Well, we're not here to bash you.
We're not here to bash you.
Yeah.
But we are simply here to let everybody know what's coming down the pipe and why it's important and what it could lead to for America, really. I'm a very proud American, and I'm not even American.
Yeah.
Yet. But this stuff pisses me off.
You want to know what's really fascinating? Another trend that has just recently started is a lot of the last 2 years, there's been a lot of I hate America. The American flag is a symbol of racism. So people are burning the flag and all this stuff. So now people are putting the flag back up and saying, you know what? This is no longer a symbol of hate.
Right.
You know what I decided on our trip? I actually decided it when we were watching that Dinesh D'Souza video. I've been wanting to get this badass American flag tattoo, but I've been like, no, I'm not going to do it because I already got a flag on my other arm. Fuck it. I'm doing it. I'm getting...
Beep!
It's America, despite I still have my right to say whatever I want. I'm getting that on my arm. Even if Joe Biden is our president, I still love America. Even though Joe Biden is our president, I still honor the flag, our troops, and our president.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't change just because your candidate is not in office.
Right. Somebody said, you're not a Canadian, or you're not an American yet. No, I'm not. I'm still a Canadian.
Yeah. But you should. We just had a student that just took his test. And
no, I'm waiting for my sister. My sister can do it after a year and a half because she's then, worked here for that long. So we said we're going to do it together.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to go do it. I've lived here for 17 years, and I consider myself an American, and I bleed red, white, and blue. I really do. And I love America, and I'll never go back to Canada.
Okay, John says, join the 3%. John, I got a 3%er tattoo.
Ryan's a 3%er, I'll tell you.
3%er tattoo on my forearm, bro.
Not so much. I'll stay with the kids. and
I'll tell you what, man.
I'll cook meals for any fighter that comes by. But Ryan will be the first one out the door. He is
ready to die, and my son Lincoln is diehard, ready to go, man.
Lincoln will be too, even as a young man. And this is the thing: I used to be really mad at Ryan for that. I used to take that personally. Like, what, you would leave your family? Like, you're a real douchebag that you would leave your family to go fight and get murdered because you probably will die. Just saying. But now I'm actually proud to think that, you know what, he would be fighting for the greatest country on earth, and what an honor that is for him to be able to do that. And if you died doing that, I would just, that would suck, but I'd be super proud of you. So you are one of us, sister. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Okay, so Facebook user was born in Toronto. That's cool.
Oh, cool.
Let's see. Okay. So Chris says the MK9 is awesome. Are you talking about the MK9 made by Nemo Arms? The Nemo Arms, do you remember I went to SHOT Show 2 years ago?
Yeah.
And I told you there's this $3,000 gun. Hey, thanks, Dustin.
Thanks, Dustin. We'll come to your question.
There's this $3,000 pistol that I'm freaking in love with. It was the MK9. It is the greatest handgun probably ever. I didn't get to shoot it. I got to hold it. I've actually been considering sending an email to them, but what's it?
She's ready to collect Ryan's insurance money.
Yeah, no shit.
He does have a bit of a policy.
Yeah. I've been threatened with that in the past. So
go back to Dustin's question.
Okay, let's see here.
Dustin.
Statistically, there are more firearms now than before the ban, and crime has actually gone down.
You are right.
It's fascinating. So in the last, I believe, 20 years, the number of firearms in America has doubled, and the violent crime rate has been cut in half.
Yeah.
There's an amazing book called More Guns Equals Less Crime. Now, let me tell you, I've read this book. It is very complicated to read because the individual, hey, thanks, Joey.
Thank you, Joey. You almost got 500 viewers.
Okay.
We almost got 500 viewers. If you haven't shared, share.
The individual that wrote this book is actually a professor at a college in Florida, and he breaks down statistics like nobody.
I remember you telling me about that.
Man,
Yeah.
like, you gotta read. It's not a book you can just casually read. It's a book you gotta really look at and be like, oh my God, okay, well, that number and this. And I mean, I'm like sitting there with my calculator as I'm reading it.
We should find that link and post it. We're gonna post it.
Yeah, it's an amazing book, so check it out. More Guns Equals Less Crime. It's really fascinating.
Awesome, Alex. Thanks for your service.
Oh, asking about the CMMG MK9. So, Luke, I haven't seen it, but
that's
that'd be cool.
very funny, Will. You're like the third person this year to tell me that I look like Shania Twain.
Yeah.
I used to always get, what's that old? Sophia Loren, that really old. She's old now. She's like 80.
Yeah.
Like that Italian model
But I'd
girl.
bang her.
But, gross. But I've been getting Shania Twain lately.
Okay, so Keith says, I can't be a Second Amendment supporter and a Beijing Biden supporter. I don't know. I think everybody has a different, here's what it boils down to. A different level of understanding and a different degree of what is important to them.
To them, exactly. And actually, there are we have a lot of Biden supporters that come to our class and who are in our group. But they're gun owners, and that's where their thing is. And
everything changes, right? Like, I've had a good friend of mine who was a Democrat, and he was a Democrat for a very long time, and then he became a conservative. And it's funny when people start learning the history of who the Democratic Party is. Yeah. I find it really funny that you call me racist when all the racist things that have ever happened in America were committed by you.
Yeah.
So when they start learning that stuff, they start opening their eyes and waking up.
Timo.
Thank
you.
That they don't believe what they claim they believe.
Yes. Yeah. Politics can be very separate from your beliefs. Exactly. And they intertwine. And sometimes people just believe it or not, some people don't like me. They find me super annoying. This is true. But then other people love me. And it's the same with, politicians. You may just, hate Trump, and it might not even be anything about his policies. It could just be his personality that you just don't like, and no matter what, you would never want to vote for him. And that's okay. That's why, oops, don't yell at me. Stop. I can see it in your eyes. So
No, I'll wait till the camera's off.
So that's where things like, voting for Biden, but still being all for, the Second Amendment, I can see that happening.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, Republican Party is growing. I think it is really awesome. You don't know this because Tiffany doesn't really follow politics as much as I do.
I can't.
But
I get too upset.
We have, out of the new freshman Congress people, we have a female who is from Iran.
That's awesome.
Okay, we have a woman who is from Korea, which is really awesome. Super thick accent from Korea.
Yep.
Several black men. There's a guy, I think, that immigrated from Cuba.
Awesome.
I think it's really fascinating.
Those are the people, though, that know what it's like.
You know what we have the squad, right? The squad on the Democratic Party. They formed a new coalition today called the Freedom Coalition, starting their own Republican version of the squad. And it's all these individuals. Fascinating.
Cool.
I'm excited to see what these guys do.
Sounds good. But those are all people, immigrants and people from other countries. They really, really understand what's happening. They see it coming. And it scares them.
Yeah, so I had a guy in the class a couple weeks ago from Paris, so from France, and I said, we were there by ourselves. We were just kind of chit-chatting, waiting for everybody to walk in. And he said, Ryan, this is a global push towards socialism. I have seen this happen everywhere, and it is happening in America.
Yeah, you said it last time. Okay, it's time to wrap it up, guys. That hour went by quickly. We're going to do some giveaways, so don't drop off yet. So first off, we're going to do the 21-day dry fire kit and course. So this is like $60. So you're going to get the whole kit, which is
let me explain what 21-day dry fire is.
Do
The 21-day dry fire challenge is a way to help you become a faster, more accurate pistol shooter by learning advanced shooting fundamentals and dry fire practice. So lots of guys on here have taken it.
And
Jay Chambers. Hey, what's up, Steve?
Important note, because my sister's going to take it, but she said, I really got to get to the range and start practicing. And we're like, no, you need to do the 21-day dry fire challenge because before you go shooting live ammunition, you need to learn the basics first. You need to do this and you need to practice this before you go out shooting to the gun range.
Yeah.
So that when you do go to shoot, you're doing it properly.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's a link in the description if you guys want to sign up, or inside of the comments, if you want to enter to win, you can enter 21-day dry fire.
Hi,
hey, thanks, Marcel.
Thank you. So what you're going to get is the kit, which includes the workbook that you can follow around all the drills, your grip strengthening egg, your Brock spring for your front sight focus. You get a little goodie in there, and then you're going to get some dummy rounds and some targets in there. So, and also the barrel block that you're going to put in your gun. So if you want to win that, go ahead and comment 21-day dry fire challenge. You can just do 21 to just be fast. So go ahead and comment 21.
I'm still looking to get to those 1,000 comments, so let's get there.
It's great. Already did it. Great job. Awesome. Somebody's already done it. So,
okay,
just hang on before you do it. So
let me tell you, Joey, the iTarget Pro will not help you with dry fire.
Right.
I talk about this, but those things are a gimmick because anybody can shoot a little laser thing. Do you understand exactly what makes up the proper two-handed pistol grip? Do you understand exactly what it takes to present your firearm from a position of concealment and perform an emergency reload? The purpose of dry fire training is not to be able to do a trigger press drill on a laser target and see where you hit. That's like one tiny thing. The purpose of dry fire is to develop your muscle memory as you manipulate your firearm. And the iTarget Jimmy Rig thing, it will never help you do that.
Right.
Okay, go.
Good spiel. Okay, pick somebody for the 21-day dry fire challenge.
All right, so the winner will be, let's see, I'm going to say Eric Criswell. So Eric Criswell.
So what you're going to do, Eric, is you're going to send an email to classes@tampacarry.com, classes@tampacarry.com, and just include your name. Say, I won the 21-day dry fire challenge, and your address so we can ship this out to you tomorrow, and then I'll get you all set up on the online course. You can start poking around, and you can get into our private Facebook group, and you can start seeing, we have months and months of people training on there, so you can see what they did, how they posted the videos, because what you guys don't know about the 21-day dry fire challenge is you also get private access to our access to our private group where Ryan looks at all the videos. We have Dan on there who looks at all the videos, and Joe as well, and we comment. So the first thing is, getting your grip perfected. So all you're going to do is video yourself, show your grip, and we're going to say, hey, move that up a bit. You got to choke up on the grip a little bit. And so we help you all the way through to make sure that you're doing each drill perfectly. And then what other
Chad's
people,
on top of it. Chad's like, range kit.
Chad already knows. Range kit. So what that does, though, because somebody on live chat said, hey, can I do the course over again? Yes.
Yeah, the goal is that you do it
for
forever.
21 days straight, just to kind of catapult your skills. But then you're going to continue to do that. If you can do it nightly, maybe you might miss a couple because, you're tired. But the goal is for you to do that all the time. And what is it? You train a lifetime for, 90 seconds or 60 seconds. But you have to be prepared. And if anybody wants to do like that Texas shooter did, at the church there, what was his name? Jack Wilson.
Yeah, shot that bad guy at like 25 feet away, moving target.
Practice, you've got to train, and Ryan walks you through all of it. And what I'll promise you is, even if you're an advanced shooter, you will learn a lot, because there is a lot of stuff you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
So the course is $29. If you choose to get the extra goodies along with it, which aren't necessary, this is $29 with free shipping as well.
Okay.
So
let's give away this range kit.
I'm giving people time to put range kit.
Okay.
What I wanted to say was that also supports Ryan and I. So we appreciate
Ryan needs some gold teeth.
We appreciate everybody that signed up. No, but I mean, all this stuff to set this up costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
Mom has been sweating over this.
Yeah, and
Okay, range kit. So this comes with a nice little range bag. It comes with the glasses, the
Hearing protection.
earmuffs. It comes with a 9mm bore snake. And then the little bag. So it's a cute little gift, and it's perfect for Christmas, and we'll get that shipped out to you tomorrow. Ryan, go ahead and pick somebody on there.
Okay, I'm going to say Kathy Douglas.
Okay, Kathy Douglas. You are going to email us to classes@tampacarry.com. This is Kathy Douglas. I won the range kit, and then just send me your address.
We also need your social security number. It's just for validation purposes, and your highest
and we'll get that
credit
shipped
card.
to you, and maybe you'll use it for yourself, but maybe you can use that as a Christmas gift as well. So it makes a wonderful gift.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much to everybody who watched. If you didn't share it, feel free to share it, because people will still watch the replay. And we appreciate you all very much, and we'll see you next Monday.
Yep, 7 p.m.
At 7 p.m.
Live,
right here from Valrico, Florida. Woo, woo.
That shit is going all over the internet.
Oh, gosh.
We are clipping it, Tiffany. I'm going to run ads with that. Okay? Never live it down.
I'll see you next week, guys.
Thanks for watching, guys. Be safe.